AITA for asking my future in-laws for money if I quit my job to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm 27F, and I work in a high-paying, demanding industry. I make over $170,000 a year, and I've been climbing steadily since I graduated. I love what I do. I've earned every promotion through long hours, hard work, and honestly, some luck. My career is important to me, not just financially, but in terms of identity and fulfillment. I'm engaged to Tim, 30M, who comes from a very different background. He's a high school teacher, and while he loves it, the truth is he doesn't have to work. Tim has a trust fund. His family is old money rich, like estates, generations of lawyers and financiers, private wealth management, country clubs, and we don't talk about money in public kind of rich. When we started dating, I was a little intimidated by that. My family is solidly middle class. We worked for everything we had, but Tim never made me feel lesser, and I admired his passion for teaching. He always said he wanted to do something meaningful, not just live off the family name. Things between us were great until recently, and now I'm questioning whether I'm walking into a trap I didn't see coming. We've been engaged for about 6 months and started planning the wedding. Last week, Tim's parents invited us over for dinner to talk logistics. It started off normal, venue, guest list, family traditions. Then his mom pivoted and said, "So, once you're married, you'll be stepping away from your job, right?" I laughed, actually laughed. I thought it was sarcasm. She said it so casually, I genuinely believed she was poking fun. But she wasn't. She repeated it, serious this time. And Tim chimed in awkwardly, saying, "Yeah, we've talked about it a little. It might just make things easier with family stuff if you stayed home once we have kids." I was stunned. We had not talked about that. Ever. Apparently, in his family, women staying home after marriage is the norm, especially if they plan to have kids. His mom outright said it was emasculating for a man to earn less than his wife, that it would cause whispers at family gatherings, that their family has a reputation to uphold. It was like I'd stepped into the 1950s. I told him I love my job, that I've worked incredibly hard to build this career, that it's not about money, it's about purpose. His mom said, being a mother is purpose enough, then gave me that tight, polished smile rich women do when they're being condescending. I looked at Tim, expecting him to defend me. He didn't. He looked uncomfortable, like he agreed with me, but didn't want to argue with his family. After I calmed down a few days later, I sat down and really thought it through. I'm not completely opposed to being a stay-at-home mom someday, but only if it's a mutual decision and I'm not putting myself at risk. So I came up with a compromise I thought was practical and fair. I approached him and his parents and said, if I'm going to give up my career and income for the sake of family, I need financial security in return. Specifically, I asked that they set up an irrevocable trust in my name, with yearly contributions matching my current gross salary, $170,000, with room for increases over time to reflect promotions and raises I would have earned had I kept working. The trust would span 35 years, which is a conservative estimate of my remaining working years. That way, I become the stay-at-home parent they want. Tim gets to look like the sole breadwinner in their social circles, and I have a safety net if things ever go south. They lost their minds. His dad accused me of monetizing the marriage. His mom looked at me like I had just spat on the family crest. Tim said he understood where I was coming from, but that it was probably not the right tone or time to bring that up. I was called materialistic, paranoid, and even manipulative. They kept saying, we take care of family. We don't do contracts. But contracts are exactly what protect people when things fall apart. I didn't want this to turn into a standoff, so I suggested an alternative. I said, okay, how about this? I sign a prenup. If I give up my career to raise our children and we end up divorcing, I get half of Tim's trust fund. They acted like I had proposed robbing them at gunpoint. His mom said, absolutely not. That money has been in our family for generations. His dad said I was planning for divorce before we've even married. They clearly saw any form of financial protection as a threat. Tim tried to play peacekeeper, saying they're just shocked. We can talk about this more later. But honestly, his lack of support stung. I'm not asking for luxuries. I'm asking for protection. Their logic seems to be, I give up my career, I contribute nothing financially, I raise the kids, run the household, maintain appearances, and if we split, I walk away with nothing. How is that not a trap? I talked to my mom about everything. She understands where I'm coming from, but she also said I might have come across a little too blunt, like I was trying to negotiate a business deal instead of a marriage. But what else was I supposed to do? Smile, nod, and quietly walk away for financial independence? I don't want a marriage where I'm treated like a second-class citizen or a liability. If I give up a career that could earn me millions over my lifetime, I need something in writing that says I won't be left behind if Tim changes his mind one day. I'm not saying I will get divorced. I love Tim. I want a family with him. But love doesn't protect you in court. Paperwork does. And frankly, I'm alarmed by how quickly his family went from polite to furious when I brought up something that should be common sense. And I can't help but notice that none of them think Tim giving up his trust fund is outrageous, but me asking for security is. So here I am, Reddit. Am I really the age for asking for a financial safety net before giving up my career to become a stay-at-home mom?